Today I want to present you 3D sums with indirect function. Indirect function doesn't really work with 3D references, but with a trick from Excel jump site we can get some from different sheets. So we have already 3D sum from all our worksheets, but we want to make it more dynamic, so we want to use indirect function and to create proper sheet reference. For example, January, that from sheet January we have to write name, exclamation mark, and then range of cells. So we can just write in indirect function, not index, indirect function. We have to create those references. So we can combine our prepared information. So we can take information from cell A2, then combine it with exclamation mark, and we can also add in double quotes range, or we can combine it with range from cell C2, and we can now create our indirect reference. And when I F9 this reference, we have full reference just like cell here. Okay, so Ctrl Z and enter, and we can see that we have values from January sheet, but we have more sheets. So how can we refer to other sheets? And we can just combine names from different cells. So we have to just A2 cell, but we can drag our range to range A to A4. In this case we have F9 3 reference to 3 different sheets. Ctrl Z and enter. Now indirect function, Excel doesn't understand, cannot spell the results. We have errors, but with our solution we could extract the values, sum those values. So how can we do it? We have to use a SUMIF function with condition criteria, proper criteria. That criteria should check each cell with those references. For example, can be larger than 0 or different than 0. It depends on what you exactly want. And just like that, we have now results from 3 different sheets. And because we have results from 3 different sheets, we can just add now some product function, so we don't have to put our formula with Ctrl Shift Enter combination shortcuts, and it should be all. Okay, we have our result, but we only sum 3 sheets, and our worksheet have 4 sheets with months names shortcuts. And so we should add here April, and when we drag our first range to the more cells, we have now the same result as 3D reference, but our solution is more dynamic, more universal, because it doesn't matter in what order our values sheets are. So when I change our March to April and April to March, we have the same results. So the order doesn't matter. It means our results aren't really 3D reference. And when I drag, for example, January sheet to the last place, we can see there is a different result in our all formulas 3D reference, because it changed the reference, the range of cells, but our sum indirect function still give us the same result. We can even add more cells for other months, but when we add empty cells we will get errors. So we should add here if error function, because we are just using sum. We can see, let's make it F9. We can see we have errors, but we don't want these errors, we just want 0. So here 0 should be fine, and I have to add on more parentheses, and now it works. So when I don't have March, I will get smaller result, but when I add March, I will get my proper sum from all sheets. And one more thing, we are using simple sheet names, but sometimes there will be some unusual signs, and we have to add here quotes, single quotes. So I will make it 2 space for once, and so we should add single quote before exclamation mark, but we don't need spaces, and we need the single quotes before our sheet name, the first name. So here in double quotes, and we are combining with sheet's name. So here we have one single quote in double quotes to make it more universal when we would have more harder names, and it's still working. This is one additional step to make our formula more universal.